We better break up. Emily, you stay here. Buzz, you take this one. I'll go down to the far end. Wait a minute. I don't know what she looks like. What's she look like?
Oh, well,
blonde,
no.
short, brunette. Come on, come on. Girl. All girl. Congratulations.
Kill. It's not too hard. I kill years. You still not gonna let me contact them? I'm not supposed to let you contact anybody. You're supposed to have some human feeling. My human feeling is to do the job the right way. Last night I had trouble breathing. I could tell that the air wasn't going out. It just sat right there up in the cell with me. I kept breathing the same stuff over and over until I got most of the oxygen out of it. All air is the same. Outside it is. You breathe some of the stuff I've been breathing over and over for the last 22 years, and you get to be an expert on the subject. This is good air we're breathing now. Breathe deep, then. It's free. Listen. Why don't you do what I'm asking you to do? Why don't you let me go to the phone, talk to my brother, and let him know I'm here. When you get to where you're going, they'll give you a little piece of paper to fill out. Who your relatives are, who can come to see you. Then they'll send him a letter telling him what the visiting days are. I mean, he can be here in 10 minutes. I'm supposed to keep you away from the public, period. When I killed those two people, I was 17 years old. All the newspapers wrote stories about what a vicious killer I was. Everybody had deep feelings about it, but I didn't have any feelings at all about what I had done. I kept looking. I kept trying to see what it was I was supposed to feel. You see, what to feel? That's my big question. I had no mother and father at that time. I had one brother. That's the one I was talking about now, and he never once came to see me. He held my crime against me. I don't know why. I mean, I was put in prison to be punished according to the laws of the land, but I can't find one law that takes off his obligations to be, well, to forgive and to be friendly to me. He's my only blood relation, and I thought if I could see him and I could talk to him about myself, then he would tell me something about myself that would explain my differences of opinion with society. Differences of opinion? Well, I don't believe I'm a monster. I do not believe that, and I just want to see my brother and tell him that face to face, that's all. 17 years. Since I'm 17 years old, he's never come to see me. What makes you think he'll come to see you now? Well, that's why I want to let you talk to him. Let me talk to him. Then, well, it's like my personal voice in his personal ear, and then let me see him turn his back on me after that. I mean, what am I asking for? I want to sit down with him, and I want to talk to him. And I want him to tell me how I should feel, and maybe I would feel something, but I just don't feel anything. I must have some feeling.
Mistake. I hope you're the kind of mistake I keep right on making the rest of my life. hope I don't give you the impression that I'm the kind of a fella that goes running around railroad stations pretending he's looking for a girl named Miss Helen Nunnally in order to meet some girl who's not Miss Helen Nunnally.
Well, I try not to jump to conclusions.
I really am looking for a girl.
So was the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood.
There you go. Leaping before you look.
Well, if there's another explanation...
Precisely why I'm here.
Well, I'd be delighted to entertain any new evidence to the contrary.
See, Helen Nunnally is a real girl. Helen Nunnally is a real-life American girl, somewhat like you, who lives in Chicago and who's coming to Cleveland to attend the wedding of her cousin.
It all begins to fall into place.
Now, Helen Nunnally has another cousin named Emily, who's going to this wedding with my best friend, and they thought since I wasn't otherwise engaged, it might meet all the requirements if I took cousin Helen Nunnally to this self-same wedding. Am I making myself clear?
Oh, crystal.
Now, as soon as she got here, on that very train, which we almost missed because I had to get a half day off work and a lot of things kept happening, but I'm here and she's not.
And in the meantime, like the squirrel who gathers nuts in the fall, when there are lots of nuts, as against the winter, the bleak, cold winter, when perhaps days may pass without a little nut to tuck in his cheek, you'd like to note down my name and address for some future occasion.
Exactly.
Well, I wouldn't dream of giving you my name. Poor Miss Nunnally gave you hers, and look how you bandy that about. You think you'd recognize her off the beach?
I never thought of it.
Never?
Well, I guess the wedding goes on without Cousin Helen.
Well, we could check with the motel. Maybe she called or something while we were on the way down here.
All it's going to do is cost us a dime to find out.
Oh, yes. Who's it from? Oh, yes, please read it to me. A telegram. Oh, thank you very much. She's going to catch the next train. Oh, hey, mister, what time is the next train?
Coming or going? Coming from Chicago. Well, there's another section of the one that just came in. It should be in here in about 20 minutes.
Maybe that's what she meant.
She said the next train, though.
Well, the next scheduled arrival from Chicago is due in 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Thanks. Hey, you think she's on the second section?
Well, we can find that out if we hang around for another 20 minutes. What worries me is will the wedding hang around for another 20 minutes?
Now, well, what worries me is will the wedding hang around for another 3 hours?
All right, so they have the wedding just a few hours later.
Oh, no.
Well, what I mean is if it were my wedding and my cousin were coming from Chicago to be my maid of honor and she were late or missed a train or something or somebody told me, I'd wait 3 hours for her to get here.
What do you got to lose? Why don't you two go over there and stall for 20 minutes, and I'll wait here for the second section. Now, if she's not on it, I'll call you. Then I can come over and we can all stall for 3 hours.
I feel like crying.
Well, you better save your tears, baby. We may need them a little later on.
Hey, good luck. Hello? May I speak to Mr. Murdoch, please?
Who's the reason?
Murdoch.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise here.
Have they had the wedding yet?
No, sir. You can still get her for the wedding. They're holding up for somebody who isn't here yet.
Can you give a message to Mr. Murdoch for me? Yeah, that's M-U-R-D-O-C-K.
M-U-R-D-O-C-K.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, sir. Well, if you wait a minute, I'll see if I can find him.
No, just give him a message for me. Tell him he's got to hold the fort for 3 more hours. Thanks. You've been following me for 15 minutes.
That's right.
I don't know you.
That's right.
What do you want?
I can show you better than I can tell you.
What's over there?
Station master's office.
What's in the station master's office?
I can show you better than I can tell you. Do you have any ID on you? Thank you. Mr. Lozama is being transferred from one prison to another in my custody. We've got an hour and a half between trains, and he's got a brother in this city who he wants to see. What we want from you is to go to this brother's address and bring him back.
Why don't you call him?
Because I have no guarantee what number I'd be calling. Maybe anybody. It's a number. Maybe there's a brother there. Maybe somebody else to help him escape.
See, I'm considered very dangerous because I killed 2 people. I'm serving 2 99-year sentences, one after the other, so nobody trusts me.
Don't you have any visitors? In jail?
Yeah. He has the same visiting privileges everybody else has.
Well, then why doesn't he wait until he gets to wherever he's going? Why does his brother have to come down here?
He'll tell you if he wants to.
What are you dressed like that for?
Why?
Oh, I see. You're allowed to be private, but I'm not.
What difference does it...
Look, why I want to see my brother is a private family matter, and I don't want to talk to you about it.
I'm going to a wedding.
Well, thank you. At least you gave me an answer. But I'm not going to answer you. Now, you either do it or you don't do it, but no questions answered, please.
Okay. The answer's no. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get involved in something I don't know anything about.
Enjoy yourself. Give my regards to the bride and groom and tell them that a man who's going to spend the rest of his life in prison wishes them the best of luck. But don't spoil it for him. Don't spoil it for him by telling him what you just did now.
What I just did is...
Don't tell them just because I wouldn't discuss a private family matter with you that you refuse to do a simple favor.
Oh, now, just a minute, friend.
I hope you're pleased with yourself. Oh, I really mean that. I hope you got a lot of kicks out of frustrating me because I wouldn't satisfy your curiosity. Well, I come in contact with more curiosity than yours every single day. Every time a guard passes my cell, he looks in it to satisfy his curiosity about what I'm doing. Now just think of that. In a place where the walls are 112 feet high and 40 feet thick. All the doors have holes in them. Bar. All night long they keep a light burning to satisfy their curiosity about what I do at night. Even when I sleep, people can look in on me to satisfy their curiosity about how I sleep. Every once in a while, they take me out and they question me for hours. They think I know something that they want to know and don't, and I tell them nothing. Because within their walls, I build walls of my own. I build walls of my mind. I build walls that they can't see through. You see, they shut me in, and I shut them out. Now, if you think I can keep myself to myself under those circumstances, do you think that I am going to tell you anything I don't want to tell you about myself? And what have you got to offer in exchange for my privacy? What? 20 minutes from your little life?
Give me the address.
Put down his name and address. Put down his birthday. For identification.
You have a car? No. Well, why don't you take a taxi? You give him a few dollars and I'll pay you later.
Sorry.
Mister,
I'll take a taxi. I won't waste your time.
I just wanted to say that if I seem crude in offering you money, you'll have to forgive me. It's just that I'm a self-educated man.
People miss weddings. It happens all the time. The only people who can't miss a wedding are the people who are getting married.
I don't care.
Now, everybody is very tense, and I think
everyone wouldn't be very tense if we got this wedding over with the way we planned it.
The whole thing is bad luck. You can't postpone a wedding. Started something, finish it. Finish it the way you started.
Dad, there are enough opinions. Oh, and look now the way my father feels.
I'm sorry the way your father feels. Your father's not getting married. I'm getting married. If you want to look at the way someone feels, look at the way I feel.
Hon, now look. This isn't going to help anything. It won't hurt you to give in. You young people are different than we were.
When we set a wedding for noon, people got married at noon.
Well, I think it's more important not to keep all of the guests waiting for just one guest. But it's not just one guest,
Of course
it's
it's
Helen.
not one guest. It's my maid of honor. And she wouldn't get married without me, I can tell you that.
How do you know whether she'd wait for you or not? She isn't even engaged. The fact is, you're here, I'm here, my mother and my father are here. But where is your maid of honor? That's the question.
She's on a train getting here as fast as she can. That's where she is.
What about the train that would have gotten her here on time? Dad, we're in enough trouble without any more opinions as it is.
Reverend,
Where are we going?
Reverend, after everybody else gets through arguing, they're going to turn to you. Now, what I'd like to do is get in a little lobbying on behalf of the missing maid of honor. Reverend, let me give you 4 or 5 good reasons why we should wait.
For a man named Stanley Lazama. Can you tell me your date of birth?
What are you, a nut or something?
Look, it's important I know your birthday.
March 8, 1915.
Hey, your brother wants to talk to you.
Where is he?
I'll take you to him. You're not surprised, are you?
8, 10 times now people have been sent here by my brother to talk to me. Guards from the prison. Chaplain once. Couple times cons who were in with him and got out. I expect to hear from him all the time, anywhere and everywhere. No, I'm not surprised. Want to put the jacket on? Your cab?
Yeah.
If you pay him, we'll go in my car. Well, how am I going to get back here if I don't go in my car?
Get the keys to the cuff out of his right-hand pocket. Go on. Now uncuff me. Now get the other one. Give me the key. Now put a cuff on that hand. Can you get up? I couldn't leave him behind because they might have traced me through him. Right now, unlock the cuffs. And give me the key. Now, you take me where the car's parked. You'd be very foolish if you made me kill you, you know. You're a young man on the way to enjoy a wedding. All you have to do to stay alive, just take me where the car is parked. I want to explain my logic to you. I can't drive. I need a driver. That's you. In case you think it's worth the risk to try to jump me, I won't shoot you necessarily. I'll shoot whatever target there is. That means man, woman, or child. You understand? You try to make a move and I'll kill someone.
What are you?
What do you mean, what am I? I'm a human being.
You haven't got the feelings of a human being.
That's true. I don't. I'm human, but without feeling. This is Stanley's friend, the one that's been out of town. Are you the man that runs a travel agency?
Yes.
Well, I'm planning to take a little trip, and I'd like to get some tickets and a passport.
Call me back in an hour.
Yeah, but listen. You better take me to the car.
You keep the change, just get the car, all right?
Get the car.
Read what it says there about the definition of a monster.
Monster, an animal or plant departing greatly in form or structure from the usual type of the species.
That's what the judge at my trial called me. So when I went to prison, I went to the library and I looked it up. And it said, departing greatly in form or structure from the usual type of the species. Well, I have 2 eyes, I have 2 hands, I have 1 brain, and I have a heart that beats normally. So why do they call me a monster? They say I'm missing certain feelings. Oh, once I talked to a psychiatrist. He says, don't you realize if someone else kills somebody that they feel remorse? I said, I don't know. I don't know what remorse is. I never had any feelings. I was born without them. He says, oh, no, nobody's born without feelings. I said, then what happened to mine then? I can never remember having them. You know what he said? Maybe you lost them. I said, fine. Someday I'll go back and find them. And you know what he did? He laughed. Turn to the next page and read what it says there.
What is laughing?
Well, what is laughing? Can you tell me? What does it mean to really laugh? I've asked a lot of people. I never met one person who could tell me. I write everything in here. I write questions and answers. Everything. Now, you keep the car there, turn the motor off, and bring me the key, because I haven't made up my mind where to go yet. Thank you. I get in front. Shut the door. I want to straighten you out on something. You know the man Stanley, the one I sent you to get, the one I had to shoot? Well, if you still think I have a brother, I don't have a brother. Stanley worked for me, for money. You see, about a year ago, I found out I was going to be transferred, so I had one of the guards get me the train's timetable. He thought it was funny, but I found out I had an hour-and-a-half layover in Cleveland. Then I sent out word that I had money put away in 2 different places. Later on, I sent out word again, telling where the small part was. And Stanley was working for me because he wanted to get his hands on the big money. Does that make you feel better? Does it? Do you realize he wasn't my brother? Here, you just drive me around till I decide exactly where we want to go.
Check it, will you, Frank?
Well?
Not very much. Lozama took everything he thought would help us.
Laundry marks, fingerprints?
Those he did not take. Here's the ID on the custody officer. So we know that other body belongs to somebody who, on the face of it, had no business in here.
Well, if we can run down who he is, that might tell us something.
I called the prison. They're sending us copies of Lozama's picture by messenger.
That'll help.
In a minute. This is where you take me. See the circle there? That's where we are now. Okay? There's $8,000 or $9,000 here, but that's only a small part of it. There's over $100,000 hidden someplace else. Here. Do you think I understand how the world works? Nature, cruel nature, I lamented. The hawk mangles the sparrow, the fig eats the ass, and the tapeworm devours man, and that's the way it is. We'll make a truce, you and I. You let me live, and I'll let you live. Now, that's not a threat or a promise. That's just simple arithmetic. That's the 1 and 1 that adds up to the rest of your life. Now, here. You just take me to where the map shows. All right, now cuff yourself. Where's that wedding you're going to? You want to know something? Once when I was a boy, I was about 15 years old, I went to a movie. In the movie, it had a wedding scene, and I sat through that scene 8 or 9 times. But I've never really been to a real wedding in my life. Easy. You don't mind him bringing a friend, do you?
Oh, I think it's very nice.
Thank you. I don't want to impose because I come from another country, so I don't know your country or the customs. But he knows my country, a little.
Is it very different?
Yes, it is.
Nobody ever gets married there.
You're teasing me.
Am I teasing?
No, he's telling the truth.
See, where I come from, they keep the women in an entirely different place. Sometimes we see them. Sometimes they pass far off. Isn't that so?
Yes, that's so.
You speak English very well.
Do I?
I couldn't even tell any accent.
I was younger. Until I was 17 years old, I studied your country very hard because I thought that I might live here. But circumstances have changed all that. You're very happy, aren't you?
Of course, I'm very happy.
Is that the man you're going to marry? He makes you smile. Suppose I told you he was going to die.
Die? What do you mean, die?
Die means not to move, not to breathe. Well, look at him. Look at his face. And don't you see death there? Don't you feel it?
Leave her alone.
What kind of feelings do you have if you can't feel death?
I said leave her alone.
What is it?
Nothing. He was joking.
Joking?
That's right, I was joking. See, in my country, we do that to test the bride to see if she really cares for her husband.
Then people in your country are very cruel and inhuman.
In my country, we all become monsters.
Yes. Anyone who would do that is a monster.
I think we better go.
I'll take you to the car.
Tight, huh? I was born in this house. belonged to my father. And year after year, my mother used to try to get him to put it in her name. And finally, she wore him down. He did. Then he died. And she died. So I got the house. Some people need a large place to sleep in. I'm fine in mine. I grew up in a cell. Night after night, I used to lie down in the bunk and pull the small missing around me. And I used to put myself in a position that faced away from the door, so if anybody looked in to satisfy their curiosity, I presented my back to them as an insult. After a while, I arranged for Stanley to come and live in this house. I used to think about him walking around in it. He knew that the rest of the money was here somewhere. And I used to lie there in my cell. I used to walk about the house with him in my mind. He searched, and I lay there in my cell and walked about the house with him. Once he went out in the garage, and he stood there and he looked around, and he looked up. All he saw was the rafters. He looked down, and all he saw was the concrete floor. Then he looked around, and all he saw was the walls. And he left. Stanley was the kind of man he never really saw. He never really looked. And I counted on that, because the money was in the garage all the time. It was up in the rafters. They were hollow, and it was inside. The money wasn't even covered on top. Stanley might have been a rich man if he would have climbed up the ladder. Every time he took his car in or out of the garage, he walked under the money. Night after night, I used to lie in my cell, and I used to watch him in my mind. Sometimes I'd move from room to room in back of him like his shadow. He was obsessed with his search. That's why I knew he'd come to me whenever I got word to him, not only for the money, for all the work he had put in trying to find out where it was.
was his, too. It's a diary of things he thought about. I never killed anyone except for logical reasons. I never had feelings to go by, so I couldn't kill them out of what I felt, only what I thought was good for me to do. When I was in jail, I thought I'd feel something again if only I got out. I'm out. No more walls. Outside. Now, why can't I feel something? The boy hates me. What is hate? Outside, men are coming to kill me. What do I feel? I have my passport. I can go anywhere. I'm free. No, not free. Not to feel is to be a monster.
Dr. Livingston, I presume?
I plead guilty.
My name is Todd Stiles, and I think we're in a hurry.
But I'd never make it. Welcome to the wedding.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together in the sight of God and in the presence of these witnesses to join together this man and this woman in the bonds of holy matrimony. If there be any here present who knows any just cause why they may not lawfully be joined in marriage, I require him now to make it known.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.